Oh, wait, I forgot to put a hook at the beginning. Ha! Hook. That should tell you who my guest is. Hook!
Camels gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields of bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning, death and hatred to mankind.
I caught you watching. So, welcome to Shaman Sundays. Welcome to the upgraded studio. New background, new mic, brand new camera. I'm coming at you in the reveal every wrinkle in my face 4K Ultra HD. That's right, just for you guys. Um, I hope everybody can hear me well or good. I don't know English. I'm from the South. One of those words. But we're trying to work on better content, and I've got better content tonight with my guests. But first, let's say hello to everybody. What's up, Russ? How did your investigation go last night? Kim Brady. Well, hello. We actually went a weekend without coming to hang out at y'all's house. What's up with that? Thanks for watching, Kim. Alabama Becky. Finally back on the East Coast where you belong, where your soul belongs. So glad you're over here with us. Maybe we can hang out soon, all of us. Love you, Beck. Tabitha Meadows, what's up? Excuse me, man. This crap just hanging on. Ugh. It's chest stuff. If you got it, be careful. Take tinctures. Look, tinctures work a whole lot better than big pharma. Why does it look like I'm looking weird? I'm still setting stuff up. I don't know. Here, let's move that a little bit there. That's better. Look up. Go to a herbalist or something. Listen, Big Pharma is the thief. They stole many native tribes' ways and made money on it. So why not go back the other way? Of course, I'm going to recommend somebody. Everybody knows Mama T. Go see Mama T. www.mamat's herbs, the only herbalist that I trust because I love her to death. She's also a veteran and a black-owned business and just a ball of friggin' fire. So go check her out. Hey Tracy. And we got hey Barbara. So guys, before I forget, let's light the sage. Not only let's light the sage for our guest this evening, but for me and everybody else, because you know we bring some negativity from us throughout the week. Like even if you don't watch the news, but you're in a coffee shop, you're gonna see some crap on the news, or on the TV, or on the streets, or whatever, and that negativity follows you. Well, let's do a little cleansing from my house to yours, and that's the way we can at least go into um the next week with some happy, positive energy. This is not my regular up here lighter. Um, but I'm lighting it though. There we go. There, see, look, smoking. All right, let me catch up here. I saw a couple people pop in. James Brady, what's up, buddy? Um, Now change my business name so I won't be infringing on hers. I don't know that you would be infringing. There's enough room for two Mama T's in our lives, Tracy. But good. And so about a week or two ago, we had a wonderful chat about sound healing. We called that episode "The Sound of Healing, Volume 1." Well, guess what it is today? It's Volume 2. In the last volume. Resnick, what's up, buddy? Hey, brother. I wasn't ignoring you. I literally just saw where you had messaged me this morning. It's just been one of them days. Oh. So back by popular demand, we have the sound healers, Orion, and his partner in time. Yeah, see, I listen, dude. I listen. I see you back there in the background. That's impressive. For Marine. Why? Look, I got so excited I didn't even put the podcast hat on. So let me change hats because this hat's friggin' hot in here. Much better. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we're gonna go time traveling. We're gonna find out how the stars tell time. And I'm going to tell a native story about the stars before we get started. So let's talk about how the Milky Way got started. It's also called the White Dog Road. And I'll do the abridged version because we all know native stories take like 2.5 hours and 27 minutes and 16 seconds. So a long time ago, at the beginning of everything, there was a man walking with a satchel of meal, cornmeal. Well, the white dog came up and stole the cornmeal. As he's running along, the bag opens and the cornmeal starts flying out everywhere, thus creating the Milky Way, or as we call it, the White Dog Road. If you're interested in more stories like that, look it up. Expand your horizons. There's also stories about the Little Dipper being a bear, and the bear was hated by the crane, so the crane killed the bear. And we all know what time the dippers come around, so that's why all of the leaves change to blood, and even some of the birds are permanently marked with blood on their chests. Cool stories like that. Please check it out. If you need some links or whatever to some more awesome native stories that are disappearing, let me know, and I will definitely hook you up. You need some drum with your story? My drum's downstairs and I'm too lazy to go get it. Listen, without further ado, let's travel in time. Let's go with Astara, Raven, and Orion. Let's pull them up and see what's going on. What's up, Kevin? I see you sneaking in there. Hey. Yes. Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Oh,
all
hello.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to switch hats because I have a grow light above me and it's very hot. I probably shouldn't have said that on.
You're growing your big vision.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm actually growing some plant my daughter gave me to put in here because she says it sucks in my studio. How are y'all?
Yeah, we're good. Good,
We're
man.
good.
Good to see you. We're super excited to have my partner in time with us this week. So this is it. Astara, Raven, meet everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Y'all, let me a quick little backstory for those of you who didn't listen when I said it with Orion. I met these lovely people at Kansas City Metacon. And somehow, like, through however vibrations work, our vibrations melded. We hit it off. I now have friends for life, great people, and they're so knowledgeable. First of all, and I'm going to show this many, many times, but how to tell time. This is Astara's book, and we'll get into that more as we go along. My God, the chats are going crazy. So, let's start with you. How did all of this begin for you? How did your journey start?
My journey started, in terms of time travel, to insert that. I'm going to be saying that word a lot tonight. We even call our sound setup a time travel machine or a time machine. But when I started doing my shamanic training in about 12 years ago, almost 13, God, time flies, right? I was doing journey after journey, and I was listening to my teachers, and I thought, I've been doing this since I was a kid. But, we just didn't have words for it. I was one of those kids that loved being in nature. And sometimes when I'd have different transitions through a virus, viruses are our allies, no matter what other people tell us. And I learned that I was having visions even as a young girl. I just thought that they were, hallucinations or some funny imaginative ploy of my brain. But then with shamanic language and permission slips, I realized I've been doing this my whole life. So my past life is an architect and a sustainability architect. And the closest I could get to shamanism in architecture was sustainability, because it's about ecosystems and nature intelligence and working to bring nature indoors and create health and wellness in a building. And we spend 95% of our time indoors. And so I passionately pursued that for 20 plus years, 25 years about. And what I realized once I got on my spiritual track with more purposeness, and less just squeezing a workshop in there or squeezing a workshop in there. When I heard my name, Astara, come to me from the stars, and I started to take note to what it did to my body and field when I started to claim that word, I realized I'm scared to use this. So I think for me, my spiritual journey has been one of just building up the confidence to trust what's always been there. And, as we gather wisdom and tools and connect the dots, it started to, and it brought me to him and him to me. Once we met, it was game on. Like, it was as if two souls reunited across time. The stars are like, and then
Yeah.
within less than a year of us being together, Illuminating Hearts was created. And less than a year after that, we had formalized the LLC. So, it's kind of like, I think I've always been on this, but I would say maybe in my 20s, I started to notice some things with more purposeness. And then by my 40s, I started to give it permission. My name came. Once I claimed my name, it built new circuitry for me to step into this world and leave corporate behind and step into doing this full time.
Well, talk about a cesspool of negativity is the corporate world.
Oh, don't even get me started. Although I talk a little bit about it in my book. I don't air any laundry in my book. It's a very high vibe book about time travel. But yeah, it was quite, there's good in it. I learned a lot, and I'm grateful for every little bit of it. But what I saw behind the scenes and climbing the corporate ladder was disconcerting, to say the least.
Yeah, I guess I got lucky. I never had to do the old corporate route, Marine Corps, which is a cesspool in and of itself.
That's one of
working for the government.
One of the biggest corporations on the planet, right there. Uncle Sam's work.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't look at it like that. Thank God. I always thought sitting in a cubicle, but I digress. I know where I was going with that, and we're just not going to go there. We're going to keep it light and
good, clean fun today.
Yeah. So, Orion, I know that you you gave us your background last episode, but can you give an abridged version for those who are new to the channel?
Right. So I would say I've spent all of my life being a verb. rather than a noun. I was a lot of nouns for little short periods of time. Anything from EMT to substitute teacher, military, worked for a medical device reprocessing company. I worked for Nebraska Health and Human Services as a sign language interpreter and a field service person. I guess I took clients out in the field and got them kind of acclimated around town. Was in a rock and roll band for 7 years. I did that full time. And then once I swiped right on Tinder and I met her, and all of a sudden we've got gongs and didgeridoos and shaman drums and doing shamanic journeying and seeing clients and doing readings. And then now we're supporting How the Stars Tell Time, which is Astara's book. And then we made a film. We made a film over COVID. So that happened too. It's called We Are Not Alone. And the film is about Christy Peterson. She is a local psychic medium here in Omaha, Nebraska. And we are telling her story of her alien abductions and meeting her hybrid children. It's not a film to prove the existence of ETs, because duh, they're already here, right?
Yeah,
they've been here for a long time. But the film is a invitation for others to know that we are not alone and you are not alone. Everyone has a story to tell, and that's when the healing gets in, is when you can tell those stories to someone who will accept you no matter what. Astara was she was the editor. She co-produced it and co-directed the film. She is the saving grace, the person who helped me bring that film to light. So you'll have to check it out. I'm sure there's some links that Brandon will toss up here. Magically make him appear out of his shaman bag. Put him on the screen.
I do that.
Yep.
I do that.
So,
and go ahead.
No, just that's kind of it in a nutshell. And now we're here in Omaha, Nebraska. What we like to say is Omaha.
Oh, that's very nice.
Don't forget.
I think football when I hear Omaha.
Oh yeah, the Huskers.
Yeah.
That's Lincoln, but yes, yes.
I've lived here for a majority of my life. I left at 19 to go be a part of the United States Air Force's corporation. Went down to Lubbock, Texas, and I came back here when I was 42, and I was in Hastings, Nebraska for a chunk of time. But Minneapolis, I've been there, Lubbock, Texas, and a short stint in the desert of Joshua Tree. So I've been a bit of places, but this California girl came all the way here 10 years ago to meet me. And I'm pleased because I was starting to work my way towards California. So I just thought I'd come back to Nebraska, and we're in the heartland, and this is where our hearts connected.
See, that's perfect. That baby. I was going to say that. Ghost hunting housewives. Hello. Oh, here's a fun fact for the two of y'all. I too am a ghost hunting housewife.
I've even helped a ghost of a housewife go to the other side. Yes.
So right there you go. There's been so many houses. Thanks for tuning in. I got so many jokes, and I'm just not gonna do it like I did on somebody else's show. Kimmy Corpse. Sorry about ruining your show last night. I just couldn't stop. Wonderful. I get the whole finding your soulmate, your connection. I had to go through a practice wife, and then I found mine. And, yeah, those practice wives, boy.
Yeah, I had 3 allies before her. Three marriages, and I like to say this is my first sober one, and it has made all the difference in the world. So, what up?
Yes, and congratulations on the sobriety.
Likewise, my friend.
Yeah, I get it. I was there. I get it. July will be 3 years for me. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, I get it.
That alcohol was an ally that I needed to put down and send into its own realm. And she inspired me to do so. I didn't do it because of her, but she inspired me to do it. In order to hang out with this woman, I had to step up my game.
Yep.
And you can't do that and be on the spirits.
You know, I used to hate my 20 some odd years of alcoholism and whatever, but the more that I grow and I learn, I realize that there was a huge lesson inside of that just needed to be unpacked.
Yeah.
And not
Um,
everybody goes through that to that depths and those depths of darkness. In the shamanic practices, you have to get right in there
yep.
and you have to hit all the way to the bottom so you can help others
Yeah.
raise their vibration to the top. And that's what she did for me. She's been my teacher and my coach, and now she's my partner in time, and she's still teaching and coaching me. It's great.
Oh, it's a mutual thing now. I mean, once he stepped up and stepped into his power more and more, he was setting me straight and keeping me honest and lifting me to new levels. So, marriage came about 4 years into our knowing each other, and now we're 5 years married. And it does go deeper with that kind of commitment level. We at first didn't think we needed to do that, but we realized not only did it benefit our taxes, but it benefited us to step in. And it's like PhD level of soul work when you're with a conscious partner who's being and acting sober, not just with substance, but also with all the other coping strategies of our twisted humanity. And
Right.
so to face that with love and compassion and look at, oh, this came from this trauma, and to have a partner who will say, we need to talk, and then to lean in and work through the dark together. There's nothing like it. You can do as much as you can. I mean, being alone and being single is a beautiful thing. I was before I met him for many decades. And once I stepped into this depth level of intimacy, not just with anyone, but somebody who was like, okay, let's get real and let's get soulful, man, both of us just like accelerated soul path, boom, steep cliff, climb up. So it's pretty, I'm grateful for him every day.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I want to thank both of you for being so willing to talk about addiction and alcoholism. That's one of my big things ever since I started my show. The regular viewers that are in my tribe know I've talked in depth about how it destroyed my life, and which was great because what do they do in boot camp? Destroy you so that you can be built back up.
That's
And
right.
that's one of the great things that I look back
Mhm.
on in the alcoholism. I was done. I was at the bottom. Like, I hit my bottom so many times. They're like, he's done. Well, then I'd get a jackhammer down further so I could get to another bottom. Right. So, but I mean, it is now. Do you think that the wonderful connection that the two of you have, does that help in what you guys do to help
Yeah.
other people?
Yeah. One of the things that's really interesting is some of the darker depths that I've gone through, many, many shamanic deaths before I moved to Omaha, let alone entered into this intimacy classroom. And Orion's gone through his darks before he met me. So, when you meet in your 40s, you've already gone through lifetimes. And then
Right.
we've had a whole decade now practically together. And so once you get to that place, you realize, oh yeah, there's the dark, the jackhammering is like, really? I didn't know there was this many layers down. And then
Yeah. Yeah. Uh huh. Uh
that's
huh.
why they call it dismemberment in shamanism, and then
Right.
rememberment. And so now when we do our sound events, when we work with clients, one-on-one sessions, either soul level or sound or both, we do mini retreats at our house. Um, we do workshops out with organizations. And what we've noticed is us alone, we're powerful people. We're like a power couple, but then together there's no way to even try to put it into words, but I'm gonna try. It's ineffable, but it's like I'm better with him and he's better with me, and together we make something bigger than if we were not together. That third
Right. Yep.
body that Robert Bly talks about in his poem. So there's a magic, and people also try to describe it. They'll say, we see other sound healers and they're great, but there's like something about you guys. And it's bringing that yin and yang together, bringing together two people who have worked on stuff together.
Right. And yeah, it's kind of funny because you guys sort of mirror me and my wife. Um,
I
and
love that.
and so 100% I get it. I get
Yeah.
exactly what you're saying. Like, I get it down to the soul, and I think like it works wonderfully too. My wife's a psychic medium, and like she helps in my paranormal investigations, and we, as we say in the South, we jihad so well. And for those of you who don't know what jihad is, look it up. But
Wait,
yeah,
hold
I
on
get
a second. I'm gonna.
jihad. Okay, G means left, ha means right. That's what you yell at the donkey when you're plowing.
Gee,
Ah,
yeah, it's when you're going over the
jihad.
hoots and the hollers too.
That's right, exactly. But
I
then you
love
watch out for the
that.
hoedowns because the cops will be there. So let's talk about. Actually, I pulled this up. Let me share my screen. And we'll do this. Let me make sure it's correctly on the screen. I have to. There we go. So we can do this. So there's that guy.
There's that guy. Man, that was a long time ago.
In
Look
Portland,
at
no
that guy.
less. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we did our commercial in Portland, and we're from Omaha. We're living in Omaha, so it's kind of funny. But most of my connections are still on the West Coast.
So let's just talk about sound healing and
Yeah.
why. I guess one easy question that we can slide into this is, why do you need all this stuff? What does it do?
What does it do?
Well, we believe in diversity, and not just as diversity as humans, but knowing that we are all different. Everyone attunes to a different resonance and a different frequency. Some great example is the gongs, the metal nature of the gongs. Some people really love the high pitch movement of the gongs. Some people love the low tones that come out of the gongs. And the gongs are the only thing on this planet that can get those frequencies so low and so high. And then there's the bowls. The bowls have their own tenacity, if you will. They create different overtones. And then there's our voices, which is the most powerful sound instruments that we have to use. And didgeridoos, also the wood nature. We try to bring in all the elements like a shamanic practitioner would. So we're looking at water, earth, metal, air, and the didgeridoo does move a lot of air too. The reason why we have so many is we like to, provide a wide palette of textures when we do an event, and we try to cruise through those. But mostly we're in a state of channeling state, like a shamanic state, a trance state, and we're feeling the energy from the room. So we like to be able to just kind of let that energy guide us to specific instruments. Great example, today we had a client come to the house, and we ground every client that comes in. So we bring them into the sound room and play for them for just about 5-10 minutes. That gets them retuned from outside to inside. I was wrapping up that session, and I picked up a tool, and I was turning to use it, and all of a sudden my inner knowing said, no, put it down and go this direction. And so I picked up this little koshi chime, and it just brought her to tears because it hit right perfect. Yeah. I think it was Hendrix that said nothing hits harder than music. So and that's the power of sound healing. Everyone has a soundtrack to their life, and to every moment of their life. And so with the different instruments, we can cater to all of your potential.
I love it. Go ahead.
Another way to say, so since I did sustainability in the built environment, and I was kind of what they'd say like a green architect. Yes, an orchestra, but of love. I call it the symphony of love. Yes. And we call our setup the cathedral of sound, because there's that like central tower of the two gongs going pretty high, the big ones. What in my architectural world, when I did the sustainability stuff, I actually taught other architects and engineers about this, because a lot of folks didn't know about sustainability. It was always this new edgy thing. And there's two terms, biomimicry and biophilia. But in shamanism, we just call it nature's intelligence, or we say it's nature's mentors, or we talk about the medicine that nature offers us. And we have allies in the plants and allies in the animals, and they can speak with us in non-ordinary reality, but they also speak with us in ordinary reality. And so that's why I always joke, sustainability was the closest I got to shamanism and architecture. But those instruments, the diversity that Orion's talking about, bringing in wood and metal, air, and the sounds of water and even fire, and inciting that warmth of the heart and the song and the voice that gets people straight into their heart, that is like an ecosystem. It's diversity. And what's so cool, I love this. You were talking about tinctures and the power of plants and all these things.
Mm.
So our bodies right now, everybody listening in, all of us not listening in, we're all hardwired for a certain level of what we'd call random. Now, of course, there's order inside the randomness, just like white dog, toss in the bag and all the stars go whoosh.
Right.
It seems like, oh, they're just falling willy-nilly, but no, it's all ordered on some level. And so when people come into the room, they've lived in rooms, cars, a built environment that tries to create a lot of stagnancy and a lot of deliberate control. And that's good. We're trying to stay out of the elements and stay safe and have a certain kind of structure in our lives. That's fine. But yet we're designed to be out in nature and be
Right.
inside of what's called stochastic patterns. So like dappled light, leaves rustling, water
Mhm.
dripping down rocks, the feel of anything that's got that kind of randomness to it. Our bodies know that's healthy. Our bodies know they need it. So what we do with the sound mimics nature. So we use a little bit of that biomimicry, a little bit of that biophilia, which is just love of nature. And we try to get people reconnected with that nature intelligence by having a diverse ecosystem of sound.
Well said.
Yeah.
They're some of the most ancient instruments of the future. That's for sure.
100%. And real quick, I see a couple of new faces. Well, not new faces, but new to the show. KK47 Paranormal Investigation. Thanks for tuning in to the show. And then Night Owl Paranormal. I haven't seen y'all in a while. Except, well, no. What? I saw y'all a month ago, 2 months ago, when I was about dead on with pneumonia. Anyway. So I guess I'll just tell that little side story. So I'm a dumb male. I decided we started our trip to go to Kansas because I had an event. Well, we had to stop at the ER for 6 hours because I had pneumonia. So after the 6 hour stay in the ER, we continued on up to Kansas so I could do the event like an idiot. So, yeah. And, a lot of people are be like, are men just stupid? Yeah, we are pretty much. We're pretty. So, that answers that mystery question of life. Now, I wish I hadn't said that because I lost my train of thought. There's so much to talk about.
I know. It's so great. We'll just go down all the rabbit holes with you.
That's and that's why I like doing my show without, I don't have a script. I don't have pre-written down questions. I just like to see where we go, and generally that's how you get to know people better. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
sometimes there's pauses, but that's okay. Yeah. Stupid and stubborn. Thanks, Resnick. Right there, but thanks. Carol says it sounds so beautiful. What a wonderful description.
Oh, thank you.
It really was.
I'm a little bit passionate about it, as you can tell, probably.
You think?
You think maybe?
I think that's another thing that how we made the connection. 1
million gongs. Yes.
is because both of y'all are so passionate about what you do. Mm-hmm. And I guess a little behind the scenes of Paracons, there's a lot of people there that shouldn't be there. They don't, there's some charlatans in the mists.
There's always going to be a few.
And that's the way it has always been in esoteric and metaphysical. But then you meet somebody who you just know that they mean what they say, and they're passionate, and all they want to do is help people. And that's all I felt from Orion and from you whenever I was able to get over to the booth. And such wonderful people. And I think I was telling Orion, I haven't done sound healing like myself. I haven't been, because I'm always taking care of other people. But
Mm.
if I were to, which I'm going to, I'm gonna come see you guys because I want the best for me. And of all of my travels so far, y'all are the best that I have met as far as vibrations and just all around being good people.
Dang.
So yeah, it's amazing. It's almost like I found you. Wait, how did you put it? In the quantum wilderness.
Yes. You had a soul adventure and boom, you met some allies. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah. Well, it
speaking
makes
of
me
which,
think of a meme I saw right before I came on. My friend he was a friend that took these shaman training workshops with me in California. He now lives in Atlanta, I think. Anyway, he put a meme up and it said the key to life is to build a life so that you don't have to leave on vacation. And that's kind
it's
of, we had
true.
our CPA years ago say, what's your exit strategy? And we both just looked at him and laughed. We're like, this is
Right.
our exit strategy.
Yeah.
This is the business. This is what we want to do for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, and this is something to pile on and talk about because I believe it's so important for couples to come together and move in the same direction because it's in that unity that you're literally forming the glitter glue that's going to hold the relationship together. And it gives you a solid foundation as you continue to work together. And we work out of our home, so we're with each other a lot, and so we're not just two people going separate ways and then coming back
Right.
together in separate ways and coming back to it's always on the same path and we're working towards the same goal. And I knew I was always looking for a partner that I can collaborate with like this, and we can do our work and our life's work together. And it's through partnering and collaboration that we can deliver our message and deliver the music and the sound to everyone. And that's it. This is the
Yeah.
exit strategy. This is what we are doing. We're going to write books, make movies together.
Play a lot of metal. Heavy metal. Those gongs are
I
heavy.
get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
And
Nice.
in the process of zipping gongs in and out of bags and hauling them around the country, I think we fall in love a little bit more with every mile that rolls underneath the tires. And every time we set up in front of an audience or guests, if you will, we're able to come together in a new light in a new way. And to have a partner you can do that with, that's where the big work is.
That's amazing. I mean, and it really is when two souls, not just two people, but when two souls, which is in my opinion, the most powerful thing in the universe, come together and work for the same common good. You can't stop it. You can move mountains.
Mhm.
So
And
it's beautiful.
Orion told me this story, so I included it in my book. And when we first were kind of stumbling into the formalization to create what's now called Illuminating Hearts, it was formed out of crisis. I had gotten some poison ivy basically and had a really bad response, and pharma wasn't doing it for me, so plug, circle, hook, what
Right?
and
I love it.
and I turned to Orion, just a whimpering mass, like, I'm on the bed just full of rash. I'm having a rash on my rash.
Yep.
And he said, what if I play the didgeridoo over you? And I said, yes, please. Because, I was from the Bay Area, and Berkeley a didgeridoo is not a rare thing. And so I was just so relieved, and I cried. I had this huge emotional release, and Orion described it like a Kundalini thing, but it was just this lightning bolt that went through his central channel. So
Yep.
sometimes when you talk about two souls coming together, there's these moments, like I even write about this also in my book, How the Stars Tell Time, that our first kiss, we exploded a candle, and we where we hear this sizzling sound and there's this flame going and the wick all the way down and wax is going everywhere. And we're like, what the heck just happened? And sometimes I swear to God, the universe just says neon sign, exclamation point, pay attention.
Right.
If you didn't notice, authors know. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Let's get into your book, shall we? Now, I'm going to be honest because I'm an honest person. I haven't completely read it because every time I sit down to read it, like I'm on the road and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to give the proper amount of attention. Yes. Look, I got it.
I made sure to have it handy.
But I haven't, I just haven't been able, I know I can't concentrate and learn and absorb what's in it. So now that I've finally got some time off, I started reading it 2-3 days ago, actual reading and going back and I'm highlighting stuff.
It's got a lot in there.
Yeah, it does. But one of the cool things that I like about it is it's your journals that you went back and went through from I can't remember when you were 12 or something. Oh, and then when I was opening, that's the one. When I was opening this, a little journal fell out inside of it from when I was 9. And I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, it really has been going on a long time. That's the first 2 that are in the book are those. That's from 12 to 19 and 20. Yeah. I mean, it's
yes, and it was awesome.
It's a good advertisement for journaling and keeping a dream journal and just writing your thoughts down and carrying a pad with you. You never know what it's going to be used for.
It's true.
Okay, so this is really wild. When he was in Joshua Tree, it was his sabbatical, but it was also mine because I had some time, me and the cat, and he had the dog. So we had each animal and we were doing some stuff for ourselves. I wrote the first 40,000 words on that time, and it really seeded the whole book. And as I'm reading those journals that he just opened up and I'm writing the book, crazy stuff was starting to happen. I'm reading quotes and they're about time travel. I put these things in the book, my young self and the wisdom. And I'm thinking, did she know? Wait, oh my gosh, this is real. Future self, gave her information. This is me young with that given name. Lily is my given name. And that Lily is putting it in the journal. And I'm just going, oh my God, what a loop. Oh my God, it's happening right now. It was so wild.
And just getting into the book, I think an author or a builder or a craftsman leaves a part of themselves in their work.
Yeah.
And just by opening the book and starting, you can tell that there's that little bit of there's thought put in, there's love, tears, sweat, everything into this book.
Oh, blood.
Right. And I have a little 2-minute clip of the audiobook that Orion sent me. And I thought now would be the perfect time to pop that in here so everybody can just get a taste.
Roll it.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Footage.
Okay, let me see here. Share screen. The Book of Face. Share. Oh, good. You guys get to see all the crap on my Facebook. It's all right.
That's the production, the stuff that makes it all go round.
It is. This is the production.
The ghost in the machine.
From his years of playing and studying the didgeridoo, Ryan recalls the ancient instrument was used by Australian Aboriginal healers. Days into my pain, he asks if he can play the didgeridoo over me, hoping to offer healing and relief. I happily say yes. I love the didgeridoo. I enjoyed the powerful instrument during my years attending ecstatic dance in Oakland. Didgeridoo players would often circle the room as we laid out on the floor, restoring our bodies after hours of dancing. I was to learn later that the didgeridoo produces multiple frequencies, both heard and felt, that have beneficial effect on living tissue and emotional well-being. promoting positive movement from cells to the flow of energy in the body. I didn't know that with my head yet. As Ryan stands over me, circle breathing primordial sounds across my body. All I know is I begin to cry. It's my body that knows what sound can do, and I experience my first itching relief in days. In time, I realize I'm accessing a deeper emotional knowing. Only my heart knows, not my head. I give over to it and let the healing release come through my river of tears. I finally feel ease where the pharma can't reach. My healing release naturally soothes my immune system inflammation, expediting recovery. As the player, it had a powerful energetic effect as well. Ryan felt a burst of energy rise in his body from the base of his spine all the way to his head. What some call Kundalini. Our calling is activated. My heart says again, this. Our souls are ready to live a more soul-aligned life path, and our bodies and personalities are waking to our ripeness. As a powerful clairvoyant and ideator, Ryan hears his soul clearly that night, and the vista from the cliff becomes clearer.
Yes. I mean, if that
Yeah.
doesn't get you guys wanting to, I'm going to put a direct link to purchase this book right here. Jesus, that's a long link. That's not right. That's not the, all right, that's not the right link, so we're going to get rid of that. We're going to go back, and we're going to go to this book. So, I mean, it's just... I met Judith and Hannah, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so I haven't started that one, but
my grandmother and great grandmother that I have not met, but I have.
well, right. It's such a wonderfully written book. It's quite easy to read, but you can also, dig into learning what you're actually teaching. It's not just a book for enjoyment, which I enjoy it thoroughly. But there's also like little life lessons thrown through there. Which I mean I love. But I gotta say hello, Wawa Kumquat to you too, Mike. I love you.
Well,
inside jokes. I love them.
not anymore.
No, it's outside now. That's not right. What did I do here? I don't know. Y'all just let me figure this stuff out.
Yeah, that's all right. I can talk a little bit about the recording, and Astara can actually send you a link through. We can get you a link to make sure it's quick and easy.
Yes, please, because this is just too much for.
Yeah, she'll send it via my phone. It'll be on its way here in Messenger in a second. So currently we've tracked all the chapters. There's 38 chapters. The first part of the book is like the quantum wilderness. It's pretty educational. We'll let Astara talk about that. But
right.
We did all the recording down in the Tiny Space Production Studio, which is about 62 square feet. And we finished tracking last month. And now we're moving on to the first pass of the mixing phase, where we kind of go through and pull out all the breaths, stop all the stops for the traffic and the airplanes and the stuff that bleeds through on the microphone. So we're making our first pass there, and then we'll come back through again, and she'll help me with timing as we kind of move sentences closer or further apart, depending on what the director and author wants for the feeling of the book. And as you heard there's me playing didgeridoo. That's one of my tracks of me playing didgeridoo. So we're going to insert our own sound and what they would call Foley. We're going to have our own music as interludes, and we're going to craft some new songs. Astara wants to put some songs behind her poems. There's some poetry embedded in the book. And it's all going to come from us, just like with our film. It's made by us, produced by us, directed and distributed by us. So we're really looking forward to it. As far as when it'll be ready, get signed up on our mailing list, so we'll let you know. And we'll also be tossing out some chapters for those that want to sign up for our Patreon. We have so much music on there and so much information.
Lots of great archives if they need some sound alchemy in their own home, or you just during the winter you might want to just pull in. So,
yeah. But and Astara will surely talk about her inner space astronauts and the academy that she's got going on for teaching and learning about this work.
Infinity and beyond.
I was getting ready to pull.
Is all the way in here.
See, and that's what I say that all the time. There, as humans, there's been more trips to space than there has been in the deep sea, which means humans generally don't like to go inside.
So this is the donut. I have a chapter in the book called The Donut, but it's all about electromagnetism and helping people get into that space. So that artwork on the front of my book is a Ukrainian artist, Daria Halazatova. She's incredible. And if you want, we can get you the links. You can follow her on the socials because her art's just incredible. And I was so excited that she would do my cover art. And that's me talking to me across time. And it's also talking to my higher self, or what we might think of that oversoul from a shamanic perspective, the aspect of self that's not in the body, not limited by personality or ego or protection. And so that book and Inner Space Academy kind of tie together, because my whole passion in life is to help people go into inner space so that they can have these kinds of soul adventures themselves and explore the quantum wilderness and live as alchemists, understanding how to create new relationships to everything. So yeah, there's Inner Space Academy, my little bouncing astronaut. And we all have the ability to travel into the most expansive, eternal, infinite place. And it's right in the middle of your heart. And Orion talked about it in the last podcast, but it is a place that we teach people how to journey to. And even in group sessions, I'll use a guided meditation tool to get people into their heart. And that's your time travel machine place. So it's pretty magical.
Yeah, I'm thinking about, I'll be probably signing up for this as well.
Yay.
Trying to see.
I'm working on my shaman course right now, and it'd be fun to see from your shamanism to the things I've learned with my teachers. But we have right now 13 plus courses, and they're all structured around this concept of digging in at the soul level, because if we go to therapy, that's fantastic. If we meet with others and have coaches and do our work and set our goals and have our dream visions, that's great. If you go see a healer, fantastic. But if you don't know what's happening at a soul level, it will repeat until you figure out why you're creating that thing. So, and it might not be this life. It might be past life. It could be genetics. It could be culture. I mean, there's so many layers.
It's so funny that you say that, because I was talking to a lovely lady who is watching right now yesterday, and I talked about how, go to a counselor. Counseling's great, but counseling alone is not going to do anything until you do the shadow work, until you look inside and work on yourself. So thank you for proving my point. I'm not going to say your name, lady who is watching, but told you.
Great minds.
Exactly. Oh, and I have to say hello to my favorite Canadian, Joanne Stewart. How are you doing, eh?
Up there, don't you know?
Oh, it just gets cold, don't you know?
It's up north there.
It's a bit chilly.
I think I've got a little bit too much Minnesotan, because I was going to say,
I was like, that's kind of Minnesota.
Yeah, because you drag the O's, but
yeah.
I miss Minnesota, don't you know? For cute.
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
So, don't you know?
But, what it starts talking about is getting after those heartifacts. When we talk about going in and doing that shadow work, it's a phrase that we coined. It's called the heartifacts. Those are the things that are in your heart. And you got to unearth them like an archaeologist. And through the Inner Space Academy, she talks about methodology to do that. And that's how the Inner Space Academy works. It just guides you into doing that deep shadow and soul work. Yes, go see your counselors, go see your shaman, go see your healers, see your Reiki people, see your sound people. They're all over the place. And the more the merrier. Try them all on. It's like a good pair of pants. You know, some fit for certain days and some fit for other days. And sometimes you just want to put on your sweats and chill.
Yeah.
And also, don't forget about massages.
Yes.
A lot of people don't think to take care of the actual body. So you can throw that in there.
Yep.
And talking about sound and the didgeridoo and breath, I've been seeing a lot, and I've had a guy tell me this several times, that if you look at the ancient name for God in the Hebrew language, the consonants, it's the same thing as breath. It's the sound of breath. So you say the name of God when you're born and when you die.
Yeah.
And breath, and that just tells you how important breath is to healing.
Yeah.
So
healing and creating it, because really we're singing to you right now. It's more like rapping.
Yeah.
And if we slow our voices down long enough, we get back into song. So it's just slowed way down. So we're literally singing to you. Our resonance is carrying forward. The speed to which I'm delivering that resonance has an impact. I can smooth it. I can slow it down. I can add some more heartfelt intention that you can feel through the airwaves, because we're giving it all to you. That's all coming from our heart through our vocal cords, and breathing that word and the word, and with the word, all is good and all is God. So we're always singing to each other.
Mm-hmm. We are creators through this expression.
Yeah. The question is, do we work over the internet or only play in person? So Astara does readings. I'll let her pick up here. Tell the people what you do on the internet, Love Bug.
Well, I'm so glad you prompted. Hook. Yeah.
So many hooks, so little time.
I know. I am an intuitive and a medium, but I believe that we all are. And on some level, some of us going to give permission to it and some of us won't. And that's okay. There's no harm in just saying, nope, not in this lifetime. But we all have the ability to expand our senses. And I call it psychic prosperity. I got that term from Paul Selig, the channel. And I love it because it's that concept of prosperity and abundance, that we're meant to have our five senses. And then there's the sixth sense, I see dead people. And then there's that sense of, we all can do all of that. And then there's more. So I have 7 clairs that I describe in my school. But to activate those places means we have to use more of our brain and our body than we normally do. So meditation, massage, the ability to access more of our brain, the ability to access more of our body, explore shaman journeys, like all of these things are going to allow us to, it's kind of like if you go to monocrop agriculture and you've got pesticides and you've got all this like one crop and we're going to make millions off of it, that's going to destroy the soil, period. Eventually, maybe like in 5 minutes. And so then, we've got biodynamic farming and we've got regenerative agriculture, and we have this kind of permaculture approach. And so what ends up happening is, are you going to treat yourself like monocrop agriculture, or are you going to treat yourself like a biodynamic farm? And I hope it's the latter. And that's why dis-ease or lack of ease happens in the body, in the mind, and other places, is we come in and we're just monochrome, monotone, and like nature, we're not meant to be that way. And so the more diverse that we can get with our brain waves, the more diverse, like shaman journeys with the drum, that's the theta state, alpha state 2, and even gamma, there's so many incredible things. And like most of us know, we use about 10% of our magic, and we're magnificent beings. So my work is really, I'm kind of like a soul cheerleader, but I go in and I say, let's get those heartifacts. Let's dig in deep. Let's get to the root of things. And then let's see where it's held in the body. And so as a medical medium, I'll like scan the body and find out what's going on. Has it become a physical thing, or is it just at the energetic level, and we can catch it and be preventative before it becomes a physical thing?
And all of this happens online. You can set up a Zoom call with Astara. If you're curious, we do have what we call a free alchemy discovery call, and that's free of charge. It's basically a platform where we can help you sift through our offerings and see what'll fit you the best. And then Astara does readings with the soul cards or tarot cards, and she also acts as that intuit and that medium. I think she pulled a card here right now for tonight, and here it comes.
So this is the group energy. I'm trying to get it out of the glare. Let's see. Whoa,
Tilts.
backwards. Here we go.
There it is.
It is the Ace of Rainbows, which in this Zen mindfulness-based deck is Earth. So it's the Earth element, and it says maturity. And the way I look at it is like spiritual Earth. Like, how do we come and bloom and grow our garden, our soul garden, and come into a new level as a soul and as a human and mature in beautiful ways? And that's kind of what we're all about with our sound and our soul work, is helping people grow and mature spiritually. So,
and
yeah.
To more for the sound stuff online, Astara has been known to do some singing to her clients over this platform to help bring in that healing connection. She has a very profound story how a shaman's daughter sang to her over the phone, mind you, back in the day, and it really changed her whole life. And I'll let her get into detail on that shortly. But as far as doing big sound events, live and organic, baby, it's the way to go, because I can play here all day long and you'll get the feeling from my energy, but to feel the organic nature of sound, live and organic, just like your food.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if I want my food live, but organic.
Well,
unless it's like, plants, but
green food, living food,
Right.
fresh food, anything that's not sporting a UPC
Sushi?
stamp on it's probably pretty good.
Oh, anything that. So, side note, rabbit hole. I was shopping the other day and I was getting some eggs, and now they have non-GMO eggs, and I'm like, does that mean it comes from a non-GMO chicken? How does this work? It's getting ridiculous out there. Oh.
My aunt, my aunt was raising some chickens, and the joke was that they were free range chickens because she was showing them travel videos.
I love it.
Yeah.
And for the one, I didn't get the name, but whoever popped up, yes, we do bowls, we do gongs, we do didgeridoo, singing. Yes.
Yeah.
Joanne. Yes.
Yeah.
And we have that diversity of instruments for a reason. We do metal bowls. We have decided for us just not to do crystal bowls because it's a pure tone and it's beautiful if done really well. It can be very penetrating. So for us, we like those overtones and undertones that metal provides.
We are at the 1 hour mark, which means we take a little break. I have some wonderful, relaxing theta music that may or may not have come from the lovely Astara and Orion that we will be playing. I got to do a little business. If you have not followed my YouTube channel at Shaman Sundays, please do. Every episode of Shaman Sundays, plus every episode of every show that's on Supernatural Inc., I put on there so you can go and you can dive into, Greg Koss with his ITC experiments, or you can Lee Triana Brown and Blaine Rohan, who are two shamans that I love to death. Everything. Oh, hey Lee. This is also, she's a wonderful lady. I met her in Pennsylvania, and I can't say enough. I love it when you can make it live. I know you watch the replays, but I love it when you can make it live. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick little break. We actually have 23 live viewers right now, which is amazing. 22 because I said the word break. Let's see how many of you guys are going to hang out. Go get some coffee. Go get soda.
And we'll dive into the quantum wilderness next.
Yes, we will, because That's just gonna be amazing. So I'm gonna set this the mood. Wait, why isn't it playing? Well, there it is. There we go. There we go. All right, everybody, we'll be back. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Since everybody probably got relaxed, I decided not to come in like a bull in a china shop. So, everybody, welcome back to the show. That's all you get. I'm back in the china shop. That's all you get. That's all the time you need. That's all the time you get. I really need to move my studio downstairs. I'm fat and miserable. So, those of you, I got a bunch of Facebook messages and texts. Tried to answer as many as I could on the break, but I will get back to the rest of you. But let's just, good Lord, 10 comments while we were gone. Let's just bring them back on. Oh, before I do, whoever just sent a donation to me, my God, thank you so much. You know, you people don't have to do that. That's actually very awesome. And I do use the donations. All that I use them for is gas money to get to Paracons and things. Just to meet you guys. So I really don't use it for anything else, but I just want to come out like, I enjoy talking to you. I love doing the show, but I'd much rather meet people in person and get to know you. So thank you so much for that. And without further ado, let's bring them back on and go into the wilderness. We're going in the wilderness, baby, in the quantums.
Rock on!
And you're gonna fly.
I am gonna fly. Oh, while we're sitting here getting back, I gotta go through some. I'm trying to catch up. I've never met you in real life, in the flesh. See, this is what I mean. That's why I try to do as many Paracons across the country. I can't. Midwest is kind of where I'm stopping because I drive a lot because it's really expensive to fly. But I'm working on some things to get out over to the other coast when I can. However, I've expanded. Next year, I will be in Massachusetts twice. So we're getting there. I'm getting there. These donations that come in are help tremendously. So thank you. Oh, she was talking to somebody else because I know she met me in real life. I was like, I just saw you in Pennsylvania. Sounds like a wave drum.
It is.
It is a wave drum.
Tabitha.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
That was super relaxing.
Yay.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let's go into the quantum field that is the wilderness. I gotta get one of those things too.
I love these things. They are everything. I mean, seriously, guys, at every scale of existence is this electromagnetic swirl, and it is not static. It goes like this. It spirals. Whee! So Orion's going to show you the little bag. We sell these. They're from Emeryville, California. They're not from China. Yay. And they're really just a lovely, mesmerizing tool. And it's a fun toy. You can, share it with others in a circle and pass it hand to hand. But that electromagnetic field. So if everybody's this tall, wait, I've got that. Yeah, there. And your heart's right here. So there's 100 times more electromagnetic activity right there in the center of that toraflex than there is in your head. Now, your head's lovely. We love all your smart brains, but you have a brain in your heart. And that's why we're illuminating hearts, because we're trying to get people into their bigger power. And by the way, the model in that image right there, that was the Atassier, who is in the chapter Astara and who also wrote my foreword. So when I went to go put the ad for Toraflux, I had no idea that he was the model for it. I thought, this is perfect. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's also the visionary that helped me find my name during a reading. He was doing a reading for Astara and I and for the business in the early days. And as you heard, Astara called me Ryan in the book, and that's my given name. So that's why I go by Orion, RyanMuff. And Atassier was doing the reading, and I thought, holy crap, did he just call me Orion? And I waited and I waited, and he's channeling, and he said it again. And I said, that's got to be it. Not too long after that, I went to the Desert of Joshua Tree and rebranded myself as Orion.
Oh, Joshua Tree. I was stationed at 29 Palms, so.
I was lulled to bed on many evening hearing the firing range. The boom, boom. The windows are shaking.
Yes. Oh, so I've been there, but I didn't.
The Marine Orchestra. That's what that was.
That's where we just go. We get bored and we blow up the desert.
Mm-hmm.
So, woo, fun. Anyway, enough about me and my adventures.
Soul adventure.
You've got good stories. I can't wait to talk to you more. When you get in Kansas or even near to Omaha, you let us know and we'll circle you in. You have a standing offer, my friend, for a session here at the house. So you come when you're ready.
Oh, see, that's amazing. I would be bringing my wife with me on that trip because
we got 2 massage tables. Come on over.
We do a couple sessions too. So
she doesn't get to, she's a hospice nurse. She doesn't get to travel with me as much, and I don't like it. But it is what it is at this particular junction. But I try to pick out the most special trips of the year to take her with me, and y'all are on that list.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well,
excuse me.
We'll have lots to talk about with her. We've done a few hospice sessions. We've bring gongs in and and be part of that experience and part of the transitionary experience because. If you've done any big medicine work and journey, you've heard sounds that sound very similar to the sound of a big gong being resonated into existence. And that is that beginning resonance that we all hear on the way in. And we speculate that it's the same resonance that we're going to hear on the way out.
I've been around a lot of death. I do death doula sometimes. I have in the past. And there is an audible sound that I hear right at the moment of passing, and it's a vibration, and that just sparked that memory. So everything is frequency and vibration.
Yes.
Yeah. It's all resonance, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a really cool series of books, Journey of Souls, Destiny of Souls. The guy who wrote it, he was born in about, I think, 1931, but he's passed. I'm going to blank on his name right now, but I think Michael Newton. Anyway, he was a therapist, didn't have any intention to study past life or other lifetimes or the in-between. But as he brought people into hypnosis, he kept getting the information. So he ended up becoming kind of a collector of these stories. And I'm reading these books, and I think it was in Journey of Souls, there's this section where he's talking about somebody's journey from death to Bardo and like going to his guides and his soul family and hearing sounds that literally is them describing what I think of as gongs and bowls. And I'm just going, this is it. I think that we have done hospice work too with our sound, and there is just something primordial in us. Our soul recognizes this music. It's really wild.
Well, and side note, a lot of the ancients and their cave systems and stuff have these really peculiar holes that are sound, but that are specifically for sound. And if you chant or whatever through this, it fills up the caverns. I've been to a couple, and it's just amazing. And if they knew about that thousands and thousands of years ago, it must have done something, because we're here, so it's proof that they made it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
As a people, we've always come together and sang and worshipped together in resonant spaces.
Right.
And some speculate that the Stonehenge has got some acoustic properties to it. And I've got several books on mystical acoustic architecture. So amazing things happen. If you've ever been, there's a dome over in Council Bluffs in the AMC theaters, and we stand in the middle underneath that dome and we do some overtone singing, and the resonance is amazing. But if you're 4 feet away from us, you can't hear the same thing that we're hearing.
Right.
Because of that particular acoustic magic that happens. The Integratron down in Landers, just outside of Joshua Tree, is a well-known acoustic hotspot.
I
Yeah.
told him to tell you guys this. This was one of the
Hi, Greg.
messages I got.
Hi.
Another
Yeah,
brother
he
from
would-
another mother.
Yes, he would also love to have you guys on his podcast, and I'll get
Yeah.
I'll get you
Yep.
all that offline. But and there's also a place out in near South Dakota or Wyoming that in the middle of the ring you can't hear people talking.
Mm.
You know, there's so many different anomalies on this planet that we don't understand because nobody looks acoustically at it. There's got to be something.
Yeah.
Right. And also the human ear is only hearing within a specific range. And that's what we talk about during our sound sessions is we take it out of, we have these mind folds. We call them virtual reality goggles because they cover up the eyes.
I have a mindful.
Yeah, they're brilliant. We've been using those things for years, and they don't put any pressure on your eyes. So you can have your eyes open or closed and not even realize whether they are open or closed. It's so dark.
Yes.
And once we remove the sight, because we tend to want to hear with our eyes, if we hear a sound, we'll snap around and try to find it with our eyes. If we remove that sense, the singing rocks, those are in Colorado. That's a great call out. When we remove the sense of sight, you're now listening more with your body. You're actually doing more listening with your body than you realize. All those micro hairs, all their facial hairs, all hearing and listening to the world.
Yeah.
A dog listens through its nose, just like it, because smell resonates. Smell's got a frequency to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a wormhole to dive down into too. So you love the way that the creatures in the planet, elephants listen through their feet. They communicate through the ground with their feet. They're using infrasound, that super low sound, because it travels a long ways.
And a lot of the horror movie genre, they employ infrasound to give you that anxiety feeling. And also we experiment around in the paranormal world with infrasound. And it's just an amazing.
Yeah, we do something called heartifact archaeology for building and land. And it's kind of like not so much a Ghostbusters thing, but what we do is we come and commune with the land, the spirit of the land, the spirit of the building, and the spirits in as well. And we find what spirits might need some help and support, go into the light, which ones want to stick around and be allies. And we have this really cool sound disc. And when you strike it, it really just resonates for a really long time. And when we go where there's EMF, intensity, geomagnetic activity, maybe there's some toxic streams under the earth, or there's, big power poles nearby, or whatever is happening, the sound disc will be all clear and then it'll go and like kind of wobble. And that's it's kind of a fun scan device that we use, but we also use our clairs, and we'll just do some really neat blessings and clearing and escorting of the paranormal to the next level.
Yeah, that sound disc is a pure tone generator, and as a handyman, you can actually use it like you would a stud locator when it locates electrical currents and stuff.
Right.
You pass that pure tone generator down the wall, and it'll start to wobble sonically, and you can hear it when it's getting near that 60 hertz frequency that's coming off those lines.
The outlet, yeah.
And you had mentioned how we're listening with our body more. When I was a touring drummer in a rock band and stuff, I had my in-ears and I had my click track, but I would play from the vibrations of the guitars, so I would know where I was at. Because sometimes, I'm sure you know, Orion, click tracks and in-ears will fail, and when they do, you can't hear anything because I didn't set up monitors because I had in-ears.
Yeah.
So I would play by the vibrations of, what we were doing.
Yeah.
And
a lot of musicians do play by feel. I took the courses in college to learn about musicality and learn about the bass, but I always played by feel, and feeling my way into the next notes. And we do that together. A lot of the music we put together on the We Are Not Alone film, all the music we put together was done impromptu and improv, just literally throwing the mics up. And I said, do we need to practice? She says, no, just hit record and go. Yeah. And so that's how that stuff was made.
So Carol brings up a cool question. So what truly is reality or normality?
I
And,
love that
and I'm going to
question.
tack on something. What do you think about, is perception reality or is reality perception?
You know, that is yes. So I believe that reality is co-created. It's a joint venture. And I believe you have your reality. I have mine. The people that are writing in have theirs. Ryan's got his. And
Mhm.
together we're all making kind of a bigger reality in this podcast right now. And then that reality will get recorded, and then other people will pile on with their reality and perception, and people will make comments, and some will love it, and some will be like, bah. And
Yeah.
that is perfect. But we cannot deny that we each have our own version, our lens, our perception, our consciousness, our awareness, pick your favorite words. And so together we can co-create something. And this is why the four agreements, or, Toltec wisdom, or going down rabbit holes around like how together we can make something that's different. Like me and Orion making something as illuminating hearts. I couldn't do it without him, but together we partner up and go, wait, that's not how I remember that. No, this is what happened. No, this is the reality. No, this is the reality. It's like, and my
Right.
guides giggle and laugh and they go, exactly. So I
Yes.
have a chapter in my book, and it's really about this concept of what is truth. And I talk about how truth has stretch marks, and how it's like a slippery fish that we're trying to grab out of a lake or a river, and then it slips out of our hands and we go, wait, 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 and then we go try to grab the truth again. And meanwhile somebody else is going, wait, there's another fish. Wait, there's another fish.
Uh-huh.
And so they all coexist. And that's why I believe that the key to our future to be better on this planet is making more multidimensional beings so we can handle paradox in these co-created realities.
Mhm. And take what you need and leave what you don't, is what Carol says. And it's like we're all building a cake together, and you can't make the full cake unless you add all these ingredients.
Yeah.
And the ingredients may change. This
Yep.
is the idea of a non-ordinary reality. And as we venture and touch spaces with different plant medicines and different modalities like sound, meditation, yoga, running, any practice to get you out of your head and into your heart. And as Astara puts it, that's your time machine. We can all create a new reality by going within. And then having this moment right now, this is some really brilliant stuff that didn't happen 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So this is magic.
Exactly. Yeah.
And this is magic that got made into science. And now that we can be so far apart and having this conversation instantaneously, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Right. If you had a time traveler, or that would come from the past to here,
Yeah.
mind blown. Well, this alone would blow their mind.
Yeah.
We have all of the knowledge at our fingertips of the
Mhm.
world, supposedly.
Yeah.
But that's a cell phone's a double-edged sword. I'm not gonna get on my soapbox, but I'm just gonna say it's a double-edged sword.
It is blessing and a curse. But we don't believe in curses. Everything's an ally. And some of the things that we think are harmful may end up being their biggest friend. So
Thank you, Donna.
take your time, be open to new experiences, and try not to be too judgmental. And the best way to start with that is just to go right into your heart.
Yep, Tabitha,
Yep.
It's true. Outside of our bodies will be yet another reality. And that's why Inner Space Academy is kind of a passion place of mine. And I'm going to have about time and relative
The
dimension.
TARDIS. Doctor Who.
Yes,
Love
there
it.
are as many points of time as there are points in space. It's kind of amazing. If you even think the clocks that are like the really, really like crazy, concise, precise clocks that they have, they'll tell different time in a mountain versus, down 5,000 feet. So
You took
it is.
that right out of my mouth. I was going to
Yeah,
say that one.
yeah.
Well, and that really messes with math, because if a lot of math is done at sea level, right? So the speed of sound, when they figure that number into equations, they're usually almost always figuring at sea level. And once we go up 1,000 feet, it changes.
different.
10,000 feet, it even changes. It's
Well,
like,
that's why I always say like math is fluid, and I'm more drawn to the quantum and string theory side of things, where you have a little bit more leeway.
Yeah. Well,
Eh,
I came up with
so
this idea called gummy math, and I call it gummy math. And I'll use the analogy here. You've got one piece of gum in one hand, and you've got another piece of gum in the other hand. And if you take both those pieces of gum, you have two pieces, right? And you put
right,
them in your mouth, chew them up, and take them out. How many pieces do you have?
uh,
One. Your
one,
mass has changed, and the
right,
math has changed.
yes,
So, yeah, gummy math.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So let's talk more about the book. I mean, I don't want to like talk about it too much because y'all need to read this book. Brandon, you need to read this book. I got it. I'm on it. I'm reading it tonight. Leave me alone, Jesus. Um, but I mean, it's just so much. Let's talk time travel, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Let's.
talk about it.
What is?
So,
Yeah. What is your take on it?
it's funny, as I was writing it, I had this healthy kind of skepticism and cynicism kind of blending together to make a, what am I really saying here? And, ooh, yes, an altitude
Well,
change.
now,
Oh yeah, don't get him started.
Don't get me started. Or do get me started. You can fly. Our motto is fly us and get nowhere. But anyways.
right. Yeah.
So time is relative, and time has all these points, and anywhere in the galaxy. But what's so cool, there's this thing, and I write about it in my last poem in the book, and I'm just going to read a line from it. Let's see if I can get to it fine here. So I say, the telescope of my mind explores elliptical orbits, spiraling their dance around the sun, our star. Somewhere beyond my eye line, or even my imagination, different planets orbit another star. Far, far away, the stars wink. My senses try to measure just how far, far, far away is. The speed of their light, lit billions of years before my gaze locks in. Yet the magnet of my heart that surfs electric currents crosses the distance in a flash. So that's just a part of the poem, How the Stars Tell Time. But that's the concept of the book, that there's this thing called Birkeland currents, and it's sort of in the new squishy math. And as quantum mechanics and science and string theory and all these things occur, there's also mathematicians trying to like sort and calculate and
Right.
rejigger their math.
Yeah.
But the thing that is so cool about Birkeland currents is it doesn't follow the speed of light, and it doesn't follow our concepts of time. It's instantaneous. And so what they're discovering is there is a thing that is, I mean, this is going to be where I think teleportation and Star Trek stuff comes true, but that there is a flash of energy and light exchange in an electromagnetic universe. And our heart speaks that language. It's electric and it's magnetic. And it's sometimes more electric than magnetic, but it is a magnetic thing. We're all magnetized to each other. I was like, bink, magnetized to this guy. So time travel to me is you're so in your heart, you're so connected to the Birkeland current of your channel, that there's like this current that just goes whoosh, right through the center of you, that Orion felt this bam in a flash, that we, and this is the Merkaba stuff that I teach in my online course system, but we can activate our own spaceships, our own time travel machines, and we can Birkeland current it to other star systems without actually having to go with our bodies. But our consciousness is there. And so I do believe that at some point we're going to figure out how to work with the mass and the matter thing. But I believe time travel is a real true thing, especially self to self, meeting our events and our adventures across time, not changing the outcome per se, but changing our relationship to it. But then funny things start to happen. And that's when we get into a Mandela effect and some interesting things. But I basically work with quantum leaping, and I coach this with my clients, like, talk to your future self. But like, which future self do you want to talk to? Out of all the timeline options, are you going to pick the one where you're suffering from this, that, and the other? Or are you going to pick the one where you're kind of living your dreams and your life is a vacation life and you love it? And you pick that one, talk to that future self, merge with it, then tell you now what you need to know to help get there. And there's no pushing the river or forcing it, but there is time travel happening. And in my book, I say hope is the memory of the future. So it's not about this like empty hope of, oh, wouldn't it be nice? It's this feeling of, oh my God, I can almost feel it happening because the heart speaks in Berkland currents and in an instant already knows what the future is and the past and everything in between.
And you know, there's a
There's a lot more to it. Read my book. I have chapters on this stuff, but yeah.
There's also a theory out there, probably in the quantum world, that like our gut feelings are actually ourselves in a alternate universe going through the exact same thing, which is also, they say that's how deja vu happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, there's a lot of, even though there's the multiverse, for lack of a better term, there's still a connection of a vibrational connection that's inside this whole messed up everything, but everything is one thing and one thing is everything. And
Yeah.
it just like you can just continue, but it's, you know, it's amazing.
It's amazing. And our minds will always fall short of understanding it. Deja vu is a
Yeah.
real thing. That's not only ourself, maybe in parallel dimensions, having interesting other expressions as a soul, you know, a spark of our soul somewhere else going, oh, I'm going to go do this in this body. But it's also when we came onto this planet, we stood in a line and we said, wait, I want to have that body and I'm going to do these things and have that adventure. And it's not all cooked up, but you have a general plan. You have a general sense. And our deja vus are often that meaning of, I just said yes to something that my soul wanted to do. And it just kind of goes and like does a moment. Yeah.
It's sorry. So okay, I was pulling up that little trailer for the video for later. Got sidetracked. Yeah. But you guys offer so much. Like it blew my mind. Because all right, when I meet you, you know how first impressions are. You got this little table and a small little setup. I'm like, oh, that's quaint. Horseshit.
How cute.
Horseshit. Or, yeah, or is that little kid that's like gone viral on TikTok? Bullshit. I mean, it's just a wealth of knowledge. And, you know, I agree that probably this would have never happened had the two of y'all not come together in a cosmic pull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, it's just, I keep going through the website and everybody, after you're done watching us, go to the website. You gotta watch us first. You gotta finish this out. Y'all got hang in there with me. And I'll keep that website up and just look at everything. But let's continue with time travel. And do you think
sometimes too much?
I 100% agree with that. Time travel is already here, but our future selves are coming back.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, we're dot connectors, and we collect dots and we connect them. And I was raised Catholic, and we talked about guardian angels. And when I met Astara, she talked about the higher self. And through a medium and guide, Paul Selig, she took me on my first adventure I've only known her for 3 months, and she's hauling me to see this channel on the coast at Big Sur at Esalen Institute, which is a magical place. And I'm like, yeah, I'll try this. And I was like, well, bullshit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then I started to be pragmatic about it. And we call ourselves pragmatic mystics because I'm measuring according to my consciousness all the time. And I only had a certain level of consciousness then. But coincidentally, that word bullshit sides really well, and it partners with alcohol a lot. You'll call bullshit on the craziest stuff that you can't get to. Anyways, so there I was on the coast of Big Sur with this love bug, and she's turning me on to this stuff, and I just couldn't deny it. I tried to poke holes in it, and he's channeling his guides, and I started making these connections. I was like, holy crap.
Yep.
My higher self is me. It's my guardian angel. My guardian angel is me, is just the highest and brightest version that I can possibly represent. That is me. That's angelic presence. And for me to connect with that, all I have to do is get still, get quiet, go to the place where it starts, right in the center of my heart. And there's tools that'll help you get there. There's tools that can help you get there, and they don't come in a bottle.
Right.
It's all
Right.
natural. You have everything you need the moment you open your eyes in the morning. That's a Neil Donald Walsh quote, but it's really powerful stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, I believe that we are already doing a lot of the what would seem like impossible tech. It's just not shared with the general public. Not just aliens, but
Another
time
rabbit hole.
travel and
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
sorts of things.
Yes. Oh,
Be-
Yeah.
because if we're co-create, so let's go back to this co-created reality thing. So um let's see, what's Rupert Sheldrake and his morphogenetic field. And by the way, this is a scientist out of the UK, for those who don't know. And he was literally poo-pooed by the entire scientific community because what he was talking about was so cutting edge at the time. And in fact, his TED Talk was banned. But so there you go with co-created reality. Cancel culture is us. It's not like somebody out there just being nasty. It's like every human has an ability to cancel themselves and others. But, still scientists persevere and try interesting things. And he said, how is it that dogs know when we're coming home and we aren't there yet? And all these things. So he started studying this concept of this greater field we're all connected in. So you could think of some of the plant medicines people use, like psilocybin and this mycelial network that we're all part of at this energetic level, not just below the soil, but energetically. So at a morphogenetic field level, we're all influencing each other. I'm like, in this podcast saying things overtly, but my thoughts tonight or your thoughts tonight might throw something up into the morphogenetic field. And then later somebody will go, oh, I'm going to go pull that down. And I love this concept. And it's like, where did that idea come from? The artist will say, I don't know. It came. And if you don't see that creative project through, let's say some of you have had a creative thought idea that you haven't acted on, somebody else will. And it's not because they're taking your idea. It's because it just wants to come into the world. It's its time. So on some level, this is to me an indicator why I think these tech pieces exist. Look at the movies, look at the collective conscious, look at the morphogenetic field and what's being created in our fictions, right? I'm like trying to find my fingers here. In our fictions, and we could say something's going on and somebody's not telling us about it because it's in the field and we're pulling it down.
Well, and that kind of leads me to how we're part of the universe and the universe is part of us. The three most abundant gases in the universe are nitrogen, oxygen, and argon. But what are we made up of? Nitrogen, oxygen, and there's some argon. So
Yeah.
there's your connection to everything. You're connected to everything and nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
Because those pathways are growing and expanding the reality that is not in your perception. And I've told people a bunch. We live in a 10-dimensional universe. We only see in 2 dimensions.
Yeah.
And it's upside down. It's not until the light hits our eyes, flips it back over, and goes in that we are 3-dimensional. And so I always say that perception is a lie. You make your own reality.
You do. And then when you use perception with that shamanic lens that don't just go by appearances, but go to that deeper, non-ordinary reality piece, you're going to see so much truer and so much deeper. And that's why the heart knows before the mind. It's in the center of that donut that we were showing with the slinky. Hence the same pulling. Yes. So my 18-year-old, I have so I have a chapter called The Black Hole, spelled WHOLE, and it's inspired by Nassim Haramein's film, which is free on YouTube, The Black Hole. Go watch it. It's a geeky science film, but you will love it.
I like that. I'm good with that.
At his finest moment, which is like catapulted into some physics fame, he realized that we flicker in and out through this black hole that's like a fractal at every scale, from our cells and the quantum level all the way out to galaxies, right? We see black holes in the science, like big physics. But that moment that exists in our heart, but also like in the center of our donut, but also in all the little small spirals inside of us. All of you right now are flickering into the void, the quantum field, and then you're flickering into that 2D, 3D solid piece that our eyes are picking up. And then you flicker into the void, and it happens at such a fast pace that you look solid. So you can't tell that you're 99.99999% space.
Yes.
So I love it. Nassim says in his movie, he says, so what are we and where are we when we're not here?
Well, we're there.
Yeah. But like, what is the void? And that's that quantum wilderness thing that our brains just go, huh? You know, but that's cool. And my 18-year-old says to me in my conversation with her, she goes, you mean we're the magic trick of existence? And I'm like, oh my God, that's great. So we're all
I
a
can't
magic
drop
trick.
the mic, but I would.
Yeah.
That was a mic drop.
I felt the same way. I'm like, God, she's smart. So, you know, we're all picking up on this stuff at the way that we can, when we can. There's no rush. But I love Gabor Mate's title of his book, The Myth of Normal. You know, it's that sense of, hey, guys, it's okay to question the reality that's being concocted in the general media and the
Right.
normal that everybody says you're supposed to do, because you're a creator and you can create something different.
Exactly. No, I had somewhere that I was going to go, and I thought it was genius. And then I lost it.
It was, and it will come back.
Yeah,
that was so good. I have to take a drink. My mouth is parched.
Yes, as well it should be, sir. That was, I don't know what that was. That was TBI is what that was.
Laying it down.
Yeah,
Slamming
man.
it down.
You know. I saw, there we go. Talon says, us woo-woo folk are trying to get to the same point if math and science would team up with a woo-woo. I mean,
it's
really?
starting to happen.
It's happened since the beginning.
It's
Everything
starting.
that is science was once paranormal, mystical. They
Mhm.
measure it. They measure, get this. Everything's measured in the science world through two wires or subjective observation. If you've studied the double slit experiment, it changes when you look at it. So there's this perceived reality idea. Your reality changes as we
observe,
as we morph into these new beings. As you learn more, it changes your reality. So that pragmatic mystic is a really great term. You get to know your stuff, read some stuff, ask people questions, go to these podcasts. There's some real smart people out there that are facilitating these sessions. So get after it. It's all there for you. Just waiting for you to find it. Because it will find you.
It's like those magnets.
Right? And I mean, it's out there. It's like there's so much information from unknown people.
Yeah.
But if you just dig, like just type in a keyword in YouTube and watch them all. Don't just watch people that have doctor in front of their name.
Yeah. Watch the ones you don't agree with too.
Yes.
Yes.
Challenge
100%.
yourself. Get questioning about all of it. And by the way, I believe from a shadow work perspective, we talked about this way before the break.
She's time traveling.
I'm time traveling. The first part. But I love shadow work, not just because it helps make better, more. That's our card today for the group energy, you know, the maturity piece. It helps with that maturity piece. But what I love about shadow work is, where do we see the brightest light is in the dark. And so the stars shine brightest at night. They're up there during the day. We just can't see them. So our best gifts, our most sparkly, powerful selves are going to get much more shiny and illuminated the more we know the dark, comfortable in the dark. So that's why I love. And I say to people, come with me. Let's go dive deep because I want to see your sparkle. Yeah.
And you know, I tell people sometimes, like even the universe. Okay, so the light is coming billions and billions and billions of light years away, but it knows it's coming for you because it wants to land on you. Like, why does the tree grow leaves? Because it knows you need shade.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just. But when you put it into the universe perspective, also in quantum physics, there's one place that's kind of like a reverse black hole that spits out energy. So, and energy, the theory is energy actually does come from nothing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, and that's another rabbit hole that we can go down. It's just an amazing, I mean, vibration. Sound does not, okay, sound is always vibration, but vibration is not always sound.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's always there.
Yeah.
Quartz crystals, everybody, I'm going to take Tabitha's word, the woo woos like us, where we say, we believe and we know that the rocks vibrate. People call us crazy because of quartz crystals. Well, what runs your watch?
Yeah. Well, it's that I use the
Your computer.
I used the
Yep.
easy button the other day. Last time when we were on,
Yep.
and I showed you with that lighter next to it, same crystal. It's in training
Yep.
to each other. One's resonating the other one. And so I clicked the lighter and it lit up the easy button from Staples. And so they have the same crystal in them. It's magic,
Well,
man.
What is the only body part that's made up of crystals on a human?
I don't think there's one
There's
that's not.
just one.
Bone structure is primarily crystalline in nature.
Your
Excuse
pineal
me,
gland.
quartz. I apologize. Quartz crystal.
Quartz.
Oh.
I should have been specific.
Yes.
Pineal gland.
That in the eyes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, the pineal gland's also an eye.
Yeah, you're right.
Isn't
Yeah.
it crazy?
That was, I mean, and it's just amazing. Like, I just found out that information the other day. Like, when your eyes dry up, it becomes quartz crystals.
Yeah.
I mean, so who's really crazy? Is what
That's the best part about this, Brandon, is crazy always finds its mate, and we're all resonating together. That vibe attracts tribe thing is real deal.
Yeah.
It's your
Yeah.
resonance, what you show up with in the world, how you present yourself in the world. You go out there and you're in a good space, bring your smile and see who comes and talks to you.
And don't be scared when those that vibrate away do, because Brandon, you probably think about this a lot with the things you do and the work you do, but there is we're hardwired for belonging, as Brene Brown has taught us with her research. And yes, we have sparkle.
100.
But there is an incredible thing that is beautiful, our need to belong and connect. But don't worry, if folks vibrate out of your world because you got a little more woo or you got a little more pragmatic, a little bit like hybrid of both, that means it's just you got so strong in your power that you're vibrating in the right direction.
Right.
And those folks need to go in a different direction and grieve it, love it, honest. We don't need to bypass our feelings, but man, it is not personal. It is like a gift of freedom so that you can get the right tribe in your life.
And I like to say, don't worry, this isn't over yet. So those that have come and stayed with you and vibrated with you for a while are now going their own direction.
Right.
They may come back. So
birds of a feather. And oh my gosh, murmuration and birds flying together. That's just like, wow.
Right. And they use frequency, I believe it's a magnetic frequency, but frequency nonetheless.
Yeah.
And, if you see like the huge flocks that are just doing whatever and then no bird runs into each other. For example, do you know why that when you see the ducks, why there's more on one side of the V?
Yeah,
because there's more ducks over there. I had to get a joke in there.
Well, that murmuring's like us moving around in the kitchen. We've got a 2-butt kitchen, and it's amazing how we can pass each other and not run into each other and not even be paying attention.
It's how we do our sound.
Yeah.
And people say, how do you guys do that together? And I mean, we have been doing it a while now, but we were doing it this coordinated in our early days when you become the hollow bone shamanically and you're just a pure vessel.
Yep.
There's just you check, you're like 2% ego or something. You checked it at the door and you pick up on each other and the heart knows.
There's a question about karma. And I was taught this a long time ago. I was taught about the 3-fold rule. When you point a finger at someone, you've got 3 pointing right back at you. So any action you put out, you're going to get back 3 times as strong, whether that's a positive interaction, a judgmental interaction. If you're talking smack about somebody, it's going to come back. I promise.
Oh, it always does.
Yes.
It's like because of that thing we talked about, the magnetism, but on one hand, I have a very different view of karma than I think some of the folks that talk about it. I do believe, like anything, There are the tormentors in our life, and we're sometimes a tormentor for somebody else. We don't mean to be. We just, it's like, what? I wasn't, and then somebody's so triggered by what we say. But
Right.
we have all arranged this way back before we got here. And so some of it is, karma and lessons and learning the impact and consequences of our ridiculousness as humans. But also some of it is just, I love you so much that I'm going to trigger the heck out of you. And then you're going to learn your thing, so
Yep.
it's just this funny, some of it's karma and some of it's just like intense soul agreements for deep lessons.
Even the
Also-
word tormentor has the word mentor in it. So
Right.
yeah. Beautiful. Look at
But
what time it is.
You were talking about how vibes like similar vibrations come together, and the three of us are a perfect example of that. We were on complete opposite sides of this huge room.
It's like,
Yeah, like and it was literally just drawn to each other. And I mean, it's true when you're on the right path or in the right mindset, open-minded to receive or whatever, then that you will receive what you need. Like,
Yeah. It's easy.
yeah,
It's
the
easy.
easy button.
The easy button. Yeah.
Well,
was easy.
That was easy. We're coming up to we got about 5 minutes left. I'm gonna play the trailer for the movie We're Not Alone,
Perfect.
and then we will end it with, we'll take a couple questions.
Roll that beautiful ET footage.
ET phone.
New talk is
okay,
they're actually terrestrials.
Speaking of ET, so it's ET, right? Well, who was ET's best friend? Elliot. It starts with an E, ends with a T.
There's some magic all through those movies, even back to Close Encounters, so pretty powerful.
I mean, oh. All right, here we go with the, make sure, yep, the trailer. Y'all need to watch this movie. I watched it. I recommend that you wear headphones or in-ears when you watch this. The sound quality and sound production that is put into this is second to none, in my personal humble opinion, but who am I? So that's just what I recommend. However, it's amazing. And once we get done with this, we'll tell you where you can see it. And there's some really cool numbers about buying or renting that we'll get into. So here we go. I say here we go.
So, the abductions started happening, or I think they'd always happened on a regular basis, but I started remembering them on a fairly regular basis. And I got panic, terror, I'd feel, and one night I got so mad, I just shook my fist at the ceiling. I'm like, were you born in a barn? I said, don't you people know how to knock? And within a few weeks later, I hear, inside my head, I hear,
there are some things in life that are real. UFOs are real, and they're here.
And poof, I was gone on a craft. And so they started knocking to let me know they were there. It didn't stop the terror, but it started happening. And one night I remember that they came and I heard in my head, and they told me that they needed me on board a craft to save my daughter. And for some reason, that didn't sound strange to me.
Buffering.
There we go. Buffering. Really? Come on now.
I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up.
It's Sunday night. Everyone's on.
Yeah, everybody's on, right? Oh my god. How about, since it's just messing with the flow of this, I am going to tag I will put that link in the
Beautiful.
description.
Beautiful. People can watch it at their own time. It's a fun movie. I channeled while I was editing, and Orion channeled while we did the music and did his stuff. And so it's also an energy transmission. It's like healing goodness.
Yeah. You're not alone. You are not alone. Everyone has a story to tell, and this is a great platform to do it. Thank you, all of you who commented and asked questions. May you be well.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. And I always end the show with the same saying, and hopefully, Astra, it will mean something to you. But I always end the show by saying, it's not about surviving the storm, but it's how you dance in the rain.
Yes.
Everybody, please join me next Sunday where my guest will be. I don't know yet because I hadn't booked that far. So that will be a great episode. I love each and every one of you. Look, if it wasn't for you guys, the viewers, I'd just be sitting here just staring at a screen. It's you guys that matter. Again, thank you so much for whoever did that donation. I don't know who it was, but oh my God, thank you so much. It does a lot of good. And with that, I'm gonna hit this outro button.